There are places in this world that make you pause and ask, wait, is that a cave with a giant hole in the ceiling like a glowing eye? Or a waterfall that, for just a few minutes each February, suddenly bursts into flame? Somewhere else, monkeys soak in hot springs like tiny retired men. And ocean waves, tall enough to swallow buildings whole. This isn't fiction, it's Earth raw, strange, and spectacular today. I'm taking you on a quiet walk through some of the most unusual and breathtaking places on the planet. Stick around until the end. The most surprising one might just be the last. PREKESTOLEN, also known as Pulpit Rock, is one of Norway's most jaw-dropping natural wonders, hanging 600 meters above the Lyse Fjord. This flat-topped cliff looks like it was sliced by a giant's sword. What makes it so fascinating is not just the view, which stretches endlessly over deep blue waters and rugged mountains, but the sheer drama of getting there. The hike to PREKESTOLEN is a 4 kilometers trek each way, winding through pine forests, stone steps, and glacially carved terrain. But here's the wild part. There are no guardrails, just you, the wind, and a vertical drop into the abyss. In summer, thousands of people sit on the edge, legs dangling freely, as if defying gravity. Some even camp overnight to catch the sunrise above the clouds. It's not for the faint-hearted, but for adventurers. PREKESTOLEN is pure adrenaline. Rising abruptly from the jungle like something out of an ancient legend, Sigiriya, the Lion Rock Fortress, is Sri Lanka's most surreal landmark. This 200-meter-high rock was transformed into a sky palace in the 5th century by King Kasayapa, who built gardens, pools, and even a throne on top of it. But the most bizarre part? You enter through to giant lion paws carved into the rock itself. Sigiriya also hides one of the world's oldest landscape gardens, complete with mirror walls and water fountains that still work during monsoon rains. And halfway up the rock, you'll find ancient frescoes of celestial maidens, painted with such finesse they haven't faded in over 1,500 years. Climbing Sigiriya feels like ascending into a lost world of kings, art, and mystery. Clinging dramatically to a sheer cliff face in the Pontic Mountains, the Sumela Monastery is one of Turkey's most jaw-dropping hidden gems. Built at an altitude of 1,200 meters above sea level, this Greek Orthodox monastery seems to float in the clouds, like a spiritual fortress carved into stone. It was founded in the 4th century, yet still stuns visitors with its painted chapels and dizzying height. But here's the real twist. To reach it, you must hike through a dense forest trail, past waterfalls and fog-shrouded cliffs. Inside, the monastery hides ancient Byzantine frescoes that have survived centuries of weather, war, and abandonment. Some say monks here once lived in near complete isolation, halfway between earth and heaven. Torres del Paine National Park in Chile and Patagonia is not just a park, it's a raw, untamed epic of nature. Imagine jagged granite spires shooting into the sky, glaciers that creak like thunder, turquoise lakes that seem too vivid to be real, and winds so strong they can knock you off your feet. The star, the 3 Towers of Paine, colossal stone monoliths sculpted by ice over millions of years. What's wild? There's a lake here, Lake Pejo, that glows different colors depending on the light, and some trails cut through puma territory. Yes, real wild pumas roam here. Add unpredictable weather, flamingos in icy lagoons, and rainbows that appear after sudden hailstorms, and Torres del Paine feels like another planet. Towering into the sky like a stone symphony, Prambanan is the largest Hindu temple complex in Indonesia and one of the most mind-blowing in the world. Built in the 9th century, it's a maze of over 140 temples, with the central trio dedicated to the Hindu trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. But it's the details that stun. Every wall is carved with epic tales from the Ramayana, frozen in time. Here's the wild part. Local legend says the temples were built in just one night by a supernatural prince as a challenge from his lover. At night, the complex glows eerily under the moon, and sometimes you can even catch Ramayana ballet performed beneath the stars, with the temples as the backdrop, blending myth, art, and architecture like nowhere else on Earth. At first glance, Nazare looks like a peaceful Portuguese fishing town. Red rooftops, whitewashed houses, and old women in traditional skirts. But this place hides a monstrous secret. It's home to the biggest surfable waves on Earth. Every winter, waves here can reach over 30 meters, 100 feet high, thanks to the Nazare Canyon, an underwater abyss that funnels ocean energy straight toward the shore. Surfing legends like Garrett McNamara have broken world records riding these giants, turning Nazare into a pilgrimage site for extreme surfers. And from the Sitio Cliff viewpoint, you can watch waves explode like liquid mountains. No need to get wet. Nazare is not just a surf spot, it's a place where nature flexes its power and the ocean roars like nowhere else. Imagine rowing through emerald rivers, weaving between limestone towers that rise like ancient dragons. Welcome to Trang An and Tam Coc, the Halong Bayong land of Ninh Binh, Vietnam. What makes this place truly surreal is its network of cave tunnels you pass through by boat. Some are so low you have to duck your head as stalactites nearly kiss the water. But here's the twist, locals row the boats using their feet, a rare skill passed down for generations. Along the way, you'll float past hidden temples, rice paddies that glow golden in harvest season, and cliffs where ancient Trang An skulls, some over 10,000 years old, were found in caves. It's not just a landscape, it's a living time machine. Hidden deep in the snowy mountains of Nagano, Jigokudani Monkey Park feels like a scene from a surreal winter fairy tale. But what makes this place truly bizarre? Here, wild Japanese macaques, also known as snow monkeys, soak in natural hot springs like miniature old men at an onsen. These monkeys descend from the cliffs every winter to bathe, escaping sub-zero temperatures in steaming pools, a behavior not seen anywhere else in the animal kingdom. Even more strangely, they've learned to take turns and follow a hierarchy, with dominant monkeys claiming the hottest spots. Jigokudani means Hell Valley, named for the steaming vents and bubbling geothermal pools, but ironically, It's one of the most peaceful and photogenic places in Japan. Once a year, for just a few days in February, something magical happens at Horsetail Fall in Yosemite National Park. As the setting sun hits the waterfall at just the right angle, it transforms into a glowing firefall, looking like molten lava pouring off the edge of El Capitan. But here's the catch: everything has to align perfectly. Clear skies, enough water flow, and precise timing. Miss any of these, and the magic vanishes. This rare event draws thousands of photographers and nature lovers, all hoping to capture the fleeting fire. It lasts only about 10 minutes a day. It's nature's optical illusion. No fire, no tricks, just sunlight, rock, and water creating one of Earth's most surreal spectacles. Hidden along the golden cliffs of Portugal's Algarve coast, Benagil Cave looks like something straight out of a fantasy movie. What makes it truly surreal is its massive natural skylight, a circular hole at the top that lets sunlight pour in, illuminating the sandy floor like a secret cathedral. Locals call it the Eye of the Sea. But here's the catch: you can't just walk in. Benagil Cave is only accessible by sea via kayak, paddleboard, or small boat. Swimming is possible, but the currents can be tricky inside. The echo of waves and light bouncing off the stone walls create an atmosphere that feels almost otherworldly. It's not just a cave, it's a sunlit sanctuary sculpted by the sea. We've just explored glowing caves, fire waterfalls, and sea monsters disguised as waves. But the world doesn't stop here. There are still places unmarked on maps, and stories only locals whisper. If you don't want to miss the next journey into the unexpected, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and share this video with your fellow wanderers. Who knows, the next destination might be somewhere you never even dreamed of.